died during protests last month. The demonstrations broke out after police arrested Castillo on charges of rebellion and conspiracy. They restarted this week after a 2-week lull. Still ahead
a new
of Al Jazeera. Hopes for peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo as an armed group hands over a military base. Plus,
I'm Rob Reynolds at CES in Las Vegas, the world's biggest and most exciting consumer electronics show.
Hello, they will
The
look
World
at
Cup is
Southeast Asia,
over.
northern areas
Your
of
life
the region
is
that's
better
been
now.
this rain. We've got an area of low pressure that's been sitting in the South China
you're
Sea,
not a
chucking some
football.
very heavy rain.
I watched a few highlights.
Vietnam,
a few
the Philippines
highlights.
as well, still under
You didn't watch the
extreme
England
flood
one?
advisories. Those have shifted
Again, just
further
watched
north.
ones
as
now and
the
again,
weather
if
has
it was
worked
in.
its way further up. Down in the
Wasn't
south, however,
working.
a much clearer picture for parts of Indonesia as we go into Monday. And there's some good news to come from northern areas of Australia.
Okay.
And that's after that stagnant system shifted its way further south, and today western parts of Australia seeing a lot of heat here, lots of hot and dry weather. The temperature in Perth recovers, and we'll see temperatures on the up across the southeast for places like Adelaide, 37 degrees, nearly 10 degrees above the average. Sunshine lasting through to Tuesday. Now for New Zealand, it has been rather unsettled for both islands, but have a look at that. It clears up on Sunday with lots of warmth in the very south. That's your weather update.
It's warm. It looks like
Yeah, it's quite mild today.
it looks like God has listened to our complaint, you know? How come?
There's still time for it to change.
Usually, what's usually the highest winter month, like the one that eats a lot of the coldest? Which one? Is it January or?
February, March usually, it's been the last couple of years, hasn't it?
Right.
There's still time
So
for it to change.
we shouldn't celebrate, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's still change. Oh, really got Christmas in the year?
you're watching Al
I know.
Jazeera.
I am
Our top
the
stories this
green.
hour. Republican Kevin McCarthy has been elected Speaker of the
Yeah.
US House of Representatives after 5 days of
I don't like
political
that
stalemate.
much about.
McCarthy's bid was blocked by hardline Republicans who repeatedly voted against him. Ukrainians are celebrating Orthodox Christmas under the shadow of war. Fighting is continuing on the
What
front
celebrates
lines despite a ceasefire call by Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Can't be dealing with it.
At least 29 people have been killed in violence in Mexico following the arrest of a drug cartel leader, Ovidio Guzman, on Thursday. Gunmen and military police were engaged in intense fighting in the streets of Culiacan. Portugal and the Netherlands are the latest countries to require COVID-19 checks for travellers from China. This week, the EU urged member states to implement tests before departure as China records a surge in cases. The Dutch government is also recommending people wear masks on flights to and from China.
Have you reached that
The
milestone?
Chinese authorities are concerned about the virus spreading there as millions of people celebrate Lunar New Year. The Transport Ministry has called for limits on travel and gatherings. Officials are also urging people to wear masks on public
Couple
transport.
of presents each, that's it.
I haven't had
Not even
COVID-19
get
yet,
to play
so if my
before
relatives
this,
are
open
positive,
it.
I'm afraid of carrying the virus back with me and
Try
then
and set it up.
that would affect their
If they wanted
health.
to say
But
it
they
up,
have recovered
fine.
from the
They
virus for
don't
a while now.
fuck it.
So I'm planning to
Go in
visit
the
them
bin, man.
and spend the Lunar New Year with them.
Well, they're
My
not going to use it.
grandparents have also told me many times
Taking it
that
out
they
of the
miss me
charity
a lot.
shop.
That'd be better there. Everyone in my family is having symptoms like fever and cough due to the reopening. They are COVID-19
Well, a lot of kids
positive.
now, unless
They've
they're
all been
involved with the
infected, but
computer
it's not a
game
big
or
deal.
phone, they're not
There
really
might be some
interested.
coughing still, but it's not affecting the elderly greatly.
It's been nearly 2 years since the military coup in Myanmar, but the junta continues to target opposition groups. Tens of thousands of people have fled, many flee to neighbouring Thailand. One refugee has spoken to Al Jazeera about his experience and hidden his identity to protect his safety.
My name is Philip. I'm a refugee from Loikora in Kaya State. After the military coup, many young activists came out onto the street to protest, but the military did not care. They cracked down on the protests, causing many people to want to leave. I had to leave Kaya State in September 2021 because I was helping injured protesters and had become too well known to the military. A few of my colleagues had been arrested and I began to feel unsafe. The military went to some of the people I had helped and wanted to know my name and where I lived. I feared for my family's safety, so I decided to leave. When we arrived in Mon State, they passed a new law forcing people to report and register any guests or visitors. We were easily identifiable as strangers, as we looked different to the local people, so we continued on to Myawaddy, then Leke Gore, but we faced the same problem. We had no choice but to cross the border into Thailand. I wrote to the UNHCR in December 2021 and had an interview with them a few months later, but I heard nothing more. So I applied to Australia for refugee status, but I was rejected. That affected me a lot mentally. I have a wife and child, but life is so uncertain. I don't know if or when the Thai authorities will arrest and deport me. I've sent letters to many embassies, including the US, Canada and Norway. All of them tell me the same thing, that I need to have a UN registration number from the UNHCR, otherwise they can't help me. In Mae Sot on the border, I was arrested by the Thai police. I tried to call the UNHCR emergency number several times, but there was no response. In the end, I had to pay a bribe to stop them from deporting me. I was very lucky. I worry as my parents and family members are still in Myanmar, so I try to keep a low profile while continuing to support freedom fighters. It's important not to draw too much attention from the military. I send food and medical supplies from Thailand. I try to help all civilians in Kaya State, regardless of which group they belong to. We're all human beings. Inside Myanmar, the revolution is taking longer, and it's not easy to raise funds. I'm a singer and I plan to upload some of my songs to YouTube. Once I get more than 1 million views, YouTube will pay me, and I will donate the money to the cause.
See what develops financially. Do you think Jamaica is a popular holiday destination because
Iran has hanged 2 men for crimes committed during nationwide protests over the death of Mahsa Amini. The 2 men were found guilty of killing a security officer in November. 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died in police custody in September. She'd been detained for violating the country's dress code. Israel has announced sanctions on the Palestinian Authority after it requested the opinion of the UN's highest judicial body on Israeli occupation. The decision was taken at the first Security Cabinet meeting of the new government led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Last week, the UN General Assembly asked the International Court of Justice to give an opinion on the legality of the occupation at the request of Palestinian leaders. Imran Khan has more from occupied East Jerusalem.
On Thursday, the National Security Cabinet met for the first time this year, and they swung into action implementing a number of sanctions against the Palestinians. I'm just going to run you through them. The first 2 are about money. Now, they're going to stop transferring money to the Palestinian Authority, and instead that money will be used to compensate what they're calling victims of terrorism. Israeli victims of terrorism, and then what they're going to do is any money that the Palestinian Authority is giving to Palestinians itself as a result of compensations when it comes to the actions during the occupation, they're going to offset that cash and they're not going to give it to the Palestinian Authority. So those are the 2 financial ones. They're also placing a moratorium on construction in Area C in the occupied West Bank, which is effectively Palestinian territory. So what they're saying to the Palestinians is, your structures, anything that you construct now, will be illegal, despite the fact it's actually PA territory. Then they're going to deny benefits to VIPs who are leading the political and legal war against Israel. What does that mean? Well, they're just going to make it much more difficult for them to actually leave the occupied West Bank, to go to international meetings, to go and travel abroad. They're just going to make it as difficult as possible. Then finally, and this is alarming, humanitarian aid organisations, they say that action will be taken against organisations in Judea and Samaria, which is the Israeli term for the occupied West Bank, that promote terrorist activity or any hostile activity. And that includes anybody working under the guise of humanitarian aid. So these are very tough sanctions.
Mali's transitional government has suspended the prison sentences of 46 soldiers from Ivory Coast. The troops were described as mercenaries and convicted of undermining state security. They work for a company contracted by the UN to bolster a peacekeeping mission. M23 rebels have handed back control of a military base to the government of Democratic Republic of Congo as part of a pledge to withdraw from territory it seized in recent months. Catherine Soy reports.
This is a big win for the Congolese government and East African troops in North Kivu province to help combat M23 fighters. The rebels took control of the area's largest military base in October. Regional forces have been negotiating with the fighters to withdraw.
We are showing our goodwill, handing over Kibumba, then handing over Rumangabo.
So do you have to move your car, or do you get away with leaving it there?
What's that?
Do you have to move your car, or do
Yeah,
you
I'm going to move it in just now. It's 1 hour there, otherwise you get booked. And often the danger is to even leave it in the first place. When I enter here, I forget that that's what I've just done. And then I end up with a ticket.
Fighting is fierce in some parts. Government forces and the rebels have accused
So
each
that's
other
why it's
of
best
starting
to go
the
straight.
latest
Yeah.
flare in the
I've delayed you. I've changed your plans. I've delayed you. Changed your plans.
The rebels say they want to
That's
talk
right.
with the
Alright,
government.
thank you very much.
Thank you. My lad will be back here shortly, in about half an hour.
Oh, with your boy?
Yeah, and the grandson.
Oh, okay.
See you in a bit.
The question is
Yes.
not about trusting
Thanks a
them.
lot.
The question
Thank
for
you.
us as government is to trust the process. And we know the things must be very tough in the ground, but we strongly believe that at the end of the day, Rwanda, because Rwanda is the one acting beyond M23.
Thousands of Congolese are continuing to flee from their homes.
I tried going back recently with my family, but the rebels of M23 were still around my home area in Kibumba. It's still not safe for us, so we decided to return back to the camps.
Their houses have been raided. They cannot reach roads because of function. All this is a consequence of a conflict that has nothing to do with them. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera.
Hello?
Now, self-driven strollers, a calming pillow and a tool to test the ripeness of an avocado. They're some of the latest gadgets unveiled at one of the world's largest tech events. Virtual reality and artificial intelligence are at the heart of many innovations at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Rob Reynolds was there.
This show showcases products from huge companies like behind me you see Samsung offering a variety of new TV screens, appliances, laptops and whatnot, to very small startups. In fact, there's one French company that's offering some electronic roller skates, allow you to whiz along at about 30 kilometers with minimal human effort it's until its battery life runs out. BMW, the German automaker, has a AI-equipped car model. It can talk to the driver and learn their preferences. So the integration of tech into the automotive world continues. And also the world of virtual reality and AI is well represented here. The metaverse is slowly taking shape, and everyone is looking forward to a new headset product that Amazon is expected to bring out onto the market later this year.
California is bracing for another round of severe weather. Pacific storms have caused major flooding in the US state this week and cut power to tens of thousands of homes. The weather has been blamed for at least 6 deaths. Santa Cruz County suffered the worst damage, and downtown San Francisco reported one of its wettest qualities.
That's it from me. The head doctors is 067 LR 168 Stanford Street Central.